Today, Richard Rohr focuses on ritual as we enter this holy, holy evening of Triduum. The message can hardly be missed in the Gospel of John. Jesus explicates it clearly. As I have done, you must also do. And then in several more repetitions. But let's talk primarily about the first reading from Exodus. Here, Christians might be the most ignorant. The central Passover ritual defined this people. This shall be a memorial feast for you, which all generations shall celebrate in Yahweh's honor as a perpetual institution. Note that it says on the 10th day of the month, April, they are to procure a small, year-old lamb for each household. They are to keep it for 4 days, just enough time for the children to bond with it and for all to see its loveliness, and then slaughter it during the evening twilight. Then they are to take the blood and sprinkle it on the doorposts of the houses. That night, they are to eat it in a highly ritualized fashion, recalling their departure from Egypt and their protection by God along the way. Thank God, Jews eventually stopped animal sacrifice, but it was meant to be a psychic shock, for killing always is. You can see, however, that the human psyche is slowly evolving in history to identify the real problem and what it is that actually has to die. A cultural anthropologist could explain what is happening here. The sacrificial instinct is the deep recognition that something always has to die for the bigger something to be born. We started with human sacrifice, Abraham and Isaac. We moved here to animal, and we gradually get closer to what really has to be sacrificed, our own beloved ego, as protected and beloved as a little household lamb. We will find all the endless disguises and excuses to avoid letting go of what really needs to die for our own spiritual growth. And it is not other humans, firstborn sons of Egyptians, animals, lambs or goats, or even meat on Friday that God wants or needs. It is always our beloved passing self that has to be let go of. Jesus surely had a dozen good reasons why he should not have to die so young, so unsuccessful at that point, and the Son of God besides. By becoming the symbolic Passover lamb himself, plus the foot-washing servant in tonight's gospel, Jesus makes the movement to the human and the personal very clear and quite concrete. It is always we in our youth, in our beauty, in our power, and our overprotectedness that must be handed over. Otherwise, we will never grow up big enough to eat of the mystery of God and love. It is really about passing over to the next level of faith and life. And this never happens without some kind of dying to the previous levels. This is an honest day, a very good ritual, and that gathers all the absolutely essential but often avoided messages: necessary suffering, real sharing, divine intimacy, and loving servanthood. As we embark on Triduum, let's continue to ask ourselves, what deeper meaning is behind these rituals? And are we using them to draw ever closer to Christ?
The promise that
of the